At 1:27 a.m. this morning, the mysterious cargo ship collapsed with a support column on the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Maryland and caused the whole bridge to collapse. And can we talk about it? First off, my heart goes out to everybody that lost their lives and was hurt on this bridge. And it's just a little mysterious how this whole cargo ship could hit one support column and topple the whole bridge. It's just, again, we all see the footage. The footage is circulating online all over the place. And also, it was workers on the bridge repairing some sort of concrete structure to the bridge at 1:27 a.m. It was a bunch of workers on the bridge, and my heart goes out to them, whoever was affected and lost their lives in this disaster. Because if you didn't know, a lot of goods and services on the East Coast and other parts of the United States flows through the Baltimore Harbor. So a lot of commerce is going to be affected by this collapse. This bridge was a very important bridge, and this structure, that cargo path, was a very big cargo path. And that leads to another point. Millions and thousands of ships then went through this pier, then went through the same route. How does this one hit the exact support column needed to topple the bridge? This goes to other videos that I did. If you didn't know, the United States has a big problem with our infrastructure. We spending all of this millions and billions of dollars sending it to develop nations and fight wars across the world. Meanwhile, our railroads, our highways, our national parks, and now our bridges is collapsing because we're not spending the money needed to reinforce these structures. Imagine if they found out in this investigation that this all could have been avoided if they just would have fixed the support columns and added more concrete and added more rebar. Again, we got all of this money to send to all of these other places. Meanwhile, our systems and our structures that make us the United States, make us the greatest nation in the world, are collapsing. How could one ship collapse the whole bridge? Again, my heart goes out. But we talking about a bigger problem here, because what if this happens everywhere? It's a millions of bridges like this all over the United States. What if one ship could damage the whole bridge and take the whole bridge? It was cars on this bridge, and they had to send out rescue drones and submersive vehicles to look for people under the water. They said it's about 7, 8 cars under there. They already pulled a few people from their cars and the wreckage down there, but it's others that's still submerged. And this is some real Final Destination stuff that we see in movies. Like, you driving on a bridge, we all have that fear. What if the bridge collapsed? Now, what if you've been driving 1 a.m. on this bridge in Baltimore, a bridge that thousands of people drive a day, probably millions, because this is a key part of the East Coast infrastructure. Again, it's multiple bridges like this all over the United States. Now, if we drive on a bridge, we gotta feel its Final Destination. Like, who's checking this stuff? Again, the fish rots from the head. You ask who's checking this stuff. His name's Joe Biden, and this is in the neck of his woods. Again, we got all this money for all these other places. Meanwhile, the United States is a S show. It's a real shit show out here. Because you got stuff like this. Again, we don't know what caused this. That boat was looking a little wonky. Why was the lights off on the boat? The lights was off on the boat. It veered kind of left. Again, I don't play blame cars and tragedies. We're going to see what happens in the investigation. But everything about this is a little mysterious. And everything about 2024 is just shaping up into a year of just revelations and revealing itself. It's still an election year, and I got election coverage and a bunch of other stuff coming. Well, I'm going to talk to you more, but I talk big on infrastructure. This is something I'm very big on. The United States is falling apart. We need to spend money on public housing, affordable housing, bridges, docks, piers, everything that makes us America, everything, our shipping ports. This is literally one of the biggest shipping ports in the United States. How could the bridge fall down by hitting by a ship? I could see if the ship was going full steam and hit it. The ship was just drifted into it and just like kind of, again, it kind of looked like a game, but it's not a game because people lost their lives, and this is going to cause a lot of turmoil because this is a big shipping lane for a lot of products, so commerce is going to be affected. Not saying that has nothing to do with the loss of lives and the damage of the people done in the families, because that's always more important, but everything about this is a little bit spooky. Is it a ghost ship? It give me ghost ship vibes, and I don't know what it gives y'all. We could talk about it in the comment section because it just give me ghost ship vibes, and I hate doing stuff like this, but who gonna talk about it if it's not Corpy? Because again, how could one little ship, they're designed to withstand certain things, elements, and I assume getting hit by a giant ship, and the ship wasn't even going full steam. But we'll see more into the investigation as it continues. But my heart goes out to everybody that lost their lives and is affected by this tragedy, because it's just crazy out. Crazy way to start a Tuesday in the morning. Can we talk about it?